Hello Sky Buddy. What's up? This time I have some interesting news that you can't miss. Mark your calendar for the 5th of March 2025. Because there's going to be a super special sky show. Imagine the red planet Mars. We will visit a very special place. In our night sky, she will cross the honeycomb star cluster, crossing and leaving this star cluster. Surely the result is gonna be really cool. Or known by the name, the Beehive Cluster. This is no ordinary event. The guys, interesting even though Mars and this honeycomb cluster actually very far apart. Mars is about 135 Joule of while honeycomb clusters at a distance of 577 light years. But from our perspective on Earth, the two will appear close together. Really cool, right? Well, that makes this moment even more special. Mars just passed his position in January 2025 yesterday. That means that this red planet is still in pretty bright conditions to be observed. On the night of May 3rd, crescent moon with 43% light will join and enliven the scenery. They would form a triangular formation, beautiful in the sky. But remember, use low magnification to be able to see the whole view. With better, where Mars will be closest to the center honeycomb cluster, only about 0.6 degrees north of the cluster Mars core. Will look like a red gem, which glitters over the group, the twinkling stars. What a stunning sight! How are you getting interested in acting? And if the weather is sunny, this will be the perfect moment to capture. For you who love sky photography, this is a golden opportunity. Take photos from night to night. You can record the journey of Mars as it approaches, and that makes it even more exciting. For those of you with binoculars or a small telescope, it's the right time to take it out. And if you like the content, astronomy like this, don't forget, subscribe to this channel and activate notifications so you don't miss other interesting info. See you guys in the next video. The highlight of the moment will be on the night of May 4th, so don't forget to note the date. Mars once had vast oceans on its surface, and then the magnetic field weakens. The atmosphere is thinning, and the water disappeared. Red planet then changed of the watery world into the red dust bowl we know today. But for the process, all that water has to end up somewhere. So, where does the water to Mars go? A new study published in National Science Review. The study is called The Systemic Evidence of Liquid Water at the Base of Mars' Upper Crust. According to researchers, this study may finally have the answer. A team of researchers from China, Australia, and Italy identify enormous reservoir of water that may lie deep beneath the Martian surface, not like resort for S that might be found on other parts of Mars. This water is estimated still in liquid form. This makes it one of the best baits in the quest. Kihidupin extraterrestrial. About 4 billion years ago, most of the Martian surface is covered by liquid water. If they were spread evenly across the planet, this water will form a global ocean 1,500 meters deep. The number is known as the equivalent layer. Global. In total, the amount of water almost equal to the amount of water the ocean Indian holds. Earth at this time. Although there is still debate as to the exact number, this estimate leaves a striking difference. Estimated volume of liquid water lost to space and through the hydration of the Earth's crust each is 10 to 200 meters of gel and 500 meters. Is a professor, geophysics at the Chinese Academy of Sciences, as well as the author of research, the current inventory of water in the Martian atmosphere, and as ice in the polar region or ice beneath its surface. Total amount, 2040 meter gel. This thing leaves the gel between 710 and 920 meters. That has yet to be discovered. Martian earthquakes and meteorites. NASA's insect lander landing on the surface of Mars on November 26, 2018. The ride opened a new window down the surface. Inside it, there is a small round dome containing a seismometer, the same device that measures earthquakes on Earth designed. According to NASA, the seismometer was used to measure the pulse of Mars. In the study, the team measured seismic waves that move through that planet of 2 meteorite impacts and 1 Martian earthquake. Co-author of the study, Prof. Hrvoje Kalsic, equate this technique by using ultrasound to see the inside of a patient's body. In short, a wave seismic spread through the interior of the planet, of distant occurrences entering the crust layer, under recipient said Kalsic. And we infer the thickness of this layer and the depth of the boundary from his echo mapping. Seismic waves move faster through dry rock than through rock saturated with water. By measuring wave velocity from impact and earthquake, scientists can detect distant water underground without having to drill it. This advanced technique, receiver functions, allows the team to detect a layer about 54 to 8 kilometers below the surface of Mars. That layer is where seismic waves slow down in a proper way to signify the presence of water to such a depth. The temperature is quite high, so that water can be liquid. And most importantly, amount of water there, estimated by researchers, are between 520, come from 780. Life on Mars? If admit, giant actually exists under the surface of Mars, it would be a good place to hunt. Kihadupin extraterrestrial. Anyway, water is the main ingredient of life on Earth and deep underground life. Really important to our planet. Their number covers about 15% of the Earth's total biomass. We're unlikely to find any flora or fauna in such depths on Mars. But microbial life, this remains a possibility. Presence of liquid water considered one of the most crucial factors in this attempt because this is a fundamental prerequisite for life, as we know, said Kalsic. Therefore identify locations with liquid water on Mars is key strategies in the search for life potential. Other than that, as we work to build human settlements on Mars, water is gonna be very important. Drilled kilometers beneath the surface will be an incredible feat of engineering. But when it comes to development of life on other planets, such a challenge was foreseen. But before you start saving for a ticket to Mars, Sundon Kalsic emphasize that the existence of aquifers not yet confirmed, using a limited set of data. They said, more data is needed before conclusions can be drawn. Indeed, liquid water is the most likely explanation, based on available data. Even so, there is another reasonable explanation for seismic waves that slow down like layers of sediment. On Earth, measurements, seismology is done using a number of seismometers all over the world. Multiple data points help verify each other's. But for on Mars, the story could be different. We must always remember that we're dealing with data from one seismometer on a distant planet. That distant planet is a very limited observation environment, and we do our best that we can remember quality and quantity of data owned, said Kalsic. Researchers hope that future Mars missions, which comes with more seismometer, more complete data, made it possible to probe parts of planets the wider, with more detail. In time, we might even can drill into the crust itself, then analyze the chemistry for direct evidence of water, and maybe even signs of life. For now, this research is a promising picture of what the mission might reveal. Future missions, as Sun said, these findings provides important insight into the Mars water cycle and evolution of habitable environments. The findings became an important basis for research in the future about the search for life, Mars, and the climate history of the planet. Hello, everyone. Today we're gonna be discussing something really interesting about our red planet, Mars. Have you guys ever imagined there's spiders on Mars? Calm down. This is not a real spider, but an incredible natural phenomenon. Imagine as we watch Mars from above. Using the satellite, scientists found patterns of unique patterns, which looks a lot like a spider. This structure can even stretch over 1 kilometer. Really cool, right? Well, that makes it even more interesting. The NASA researchers not just looking at this phenomenon, they're really trying to solve a mystery. This by recreating structure in the laboratory, and it turns out process is very unique. Mars is actually cold and dry planet, but make no mistake, the surface isn't just standing still. Every winter, most of the carbon dioxide in the Martian atmosphere freezes and covers its surface with some sort of frost. The fun is, when spring comes, this ice goes directly from a solid to a gas, process called sublimation, and this is where the magic happens. This process creates a variety of unique shapes, which scientists have dubbed the Kiefer Zoo. How the process? So, sunlight penetrates the clear ice sheets, then heats up the ground underneath. The ice that's underneath the surface turned into gas, but the gas was trapped. Imagine like pressure cooker. The pressure keeps rising until finally, the ice boom on it cracks, and the gas gushes out, along with dust at high speed, which is even more interesting. It turns out that the formation of this Martian spider need the right conditions. The researchers had to do multiple experiments before finally managing to understand the mechanics. It's like a recipe that has to fit the dose. But hold on. There were shocking facts discovered in laboratories. Some cracks was apparently formed due to the hot pressure, not because of gas erosion as originally thought. This opens up the possibility that the formation of the Martian spiders may be harboring the secret of climate change, Mars in the past, and that makes it even more exciting. Polar. This pattern isn't always shaped like a spider's leg. Occasionally appear dark spots, with bright circles around, much like a giant donut on the surface of Mars. Well, how? The guys. Exciting story? Mars always had a way of making us amazed by the uniqueness. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe. Also activate the bells, so you don't miss other interesting videos about the mysteries of the universe. See you soon in the next video.